Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Wednesday meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. This week, we have Ian Patrick, the founder of Miracle Network, who will lead us in meditation. Then we have 20 minutes of silence. After that, we're going to open it up for sharing, and we end at 10:45. Over to you, Ian.
Thank you, Dan and Jim. Morning, everybody. It's really great to be doing another one of these meditations, and thank you for the invitation. I mean, I may be the founder of the network, but I had to wait to be invited to do these things. So I appreciate that. And on the subject of appreciation, that is the subject of today's meditation, actually. I'm going to do, it's going to be all about gratitude. I'm going to do a reading, the reading from the course in a minute, after a little intro. Then an exercise, which is something I used to practice the beginning of my spiritual path. I've never done it in a group, so as always, I'm doing something a little bit experimental. So I've certainly done it myself in my own head, but to do it as a group, I don't know how that's going to work. Well, we'll see. I'm sure it'll be perfect. And that will lead into the meditation itself for 20 minutes. So gratitude. I'm sure we've all noticed the way of the world is one of judgment and moaning and seeing everything negatively. I don't know, it seems to be getting worse to me. Every time I switch on the TV or the radio, there's somebody moaning about something, not enough of this or too much of that or whatever it is. And that's the opposite of that. The very opposite of that is gratitude. So it's the way out of this negativity that we're in. I found, and I'm sure you've realized too, the more you're grateful, the more you find there is to be grateful for. It's amazing. It rewires the brain to think differently. And as I said very early on, in fact, this sort of accelerated my spiritual path, actually. When I first started with the Course in Miracles, I was talking to someone about gratitude, and I started doing this exercise every day, no, twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. I'd think of 5 things to be grateful for, and it got easier and easier. And then I graduated to 10 things in the morning and the evening, and it was just a really wonderful experience. It's like, just as this moaning and complaining that I was talking about, that seems to be addictive, and the world's addicted to it. Also, gratitude is addictive too, in that the more you do it, the more you want to do it. So these are only thoughts. It's playing with our thoughts, but they invoke a powerful experience. But that's really what it's about. It's experience that gratitude leads you to. So of course, all the things that that we are going to do in this exercise that we're grateful for are part of the illusion of the world. So it's not about them themselves, and they're all the same. Whatever you feel grateful for, it doesn't matter. The Course says there's no hierarchy of illusions. It's about where they lead you to. I found I was being grateful for everyday things, and even things that appear to be negative. I found they contained a gift that I could be grateful for. But I'm not talking about putting a positive spin on things. It's actually finding and feeling the gift with any kind of challenge. You may be able to hear that I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. So this applies to health issues too. I thought, okay, what's the gift in my cold? It's time to be quiet and to reflect. So I can be grateful for the time for quiet and reflection. And then when you've gone through the material things, you can move on to non-material things, which I suggest is what we do in the exercise. And where this all leads you to is a feeling of abundance and wholeness, holiness, in other words, connection, expansiveness, and oneness. So it's an experience, it leads you to an experience of truth. It's not about the stuff of the world. It begins with that, and that leads you out of the world. So the reading from the course that I've chosen is fairly obviously lesson 195, which is love is the way I walk in gratitude. So it says, gratitude is a lesson hard to learn for those who look upon the world amiss. The most that they can do is see themselves as better off than others. And they try to be content because another seems to suffer more than they. How pitiful and depreciating are such thoughts. For who has cause for thanks while others have less cause? And who could suffer less because he sees another suffer more? Your gratitude is due to him alone who made all cause of sorrow disappear throughout the world. It is insane to offer thanks because of suffering, but it is equally insane to fail in gratitude to one who offers you the certain means whereby all pain is healed and suffering replaced with laughter and with happiness. Therefore, give thanks, but in sincerity, and let your gratitude make room for all who will escape with you, the sick, the weak, the needy and afraid, those who mourn a seeming loss or feel apparent pain, who suffer cold or hunger, or who walk the way of hatred and the path of death. All these go with you. We thank our Father for one thing alone, that we are separate from no living thing, and therefore one with him. And we rejoice that no exceptions ever can be made with which would reduce our wholeness, nor impair or change our function to complete the one who is himself completion. We give thanks for every living thing, for otherwise we offer thanks for nothing, and we fail to recognize the gifts of God to us. Walk then in gratitude, the way of love. For hatred is forgotten when we lay comparisons aside. What more remains as obstacles to peace? The fear of God is now undone at last, and we forgive without comparing. Thus, we cannot choose to overlook some things and yet retain some other things that still locked away as sins. When your forgiveness is complete, you will have total gratitude, for you will see that everything has earned the right to love by being loving, even as yourself. Today, we learn to think of gratitude in place of anger, malice, and revenge. We have been given everything. If we refuse to recognize it, we are not entitled, therefore, to our bitterness and to a self-perception which regards us in a place of merciless pursuit, where we are badgered ceaselessly and pushed about without a thought or care for us or for our future. Gratitude becomes a single thought we substitute for these insane perceptions. God has cared for us and calls us son. Can there be more than this? Our gratitude will pave the way to him and shorten our learning time by more than you could ever dream of. Gratitude goes hand in hand with love, and where one is, the other must be found. For gratitude is but an aspect of the love which is the source of all creation. God gives thanks to you, his son, for being what you are, his own completion and the source of love along with him. Your gratitude goes to him, your gratitude to him is one with his to you. For love can walk no road except the way of gratitude. And thus we go who walk the way to God. So now we'll move into the exercise I talked about. So I'm going to read through some examples of the things that that I would feel grateful for right now. And as I do that, maybe reflect on your own, either the same examples or something similar. So we'll start with material things, everyday material things, and then we'll move on to non-material things. Pardon me. And then we'll slide into the meditation. So think of your gratitude for your home, where you live, your family. So actually try to feel in the moment the gratitude for these things, for where you live, the roof over your head, your family, your friends, maybe pets, the food you have to eat, your breakfast this morning, your morning coffee, the bus that takes you to work or to the shops, or the train, the postman, the radio, the TV, the music, for walks in the sun, for nature, for the countryside, for trees and flowers and grass and the sky, clouds, the moon at night, stars. You can feel grateful for all these things. Grateful for your holidays, trips away, for travel, something I like to do and I so much appreciate every place I go to. Gratitude for your spiritual path, for Course in Miracles, for the Miracle Network, for Zoom, for this meditation, for anything. For the supermarket I'm going to after this, and the post office. The shoes I wear to get there. Every little thing, however minor, however small, however insignificant, it's just a moment of appreciation for those things, for the pavement to walk on. And then move on to non-material things, for love, both specific love for a particular, what of course we call special love, particular person, or for love in a general sense, for the love of God, for the love of our brothers, for forgiveness and the gifts forgiveness brings, for the Holy Spirit, and for God himself. There's so much to be grateful for. So, so we'll go into the meditation now. In this space of gratitude for everything, for abundance, for wholeness, for connection, for expansiveness that it takes you to, for oneness, and just stay with that for 20 minutes.
Open your eyes slowly and come back into the room. We have 10 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand or use the reactions button at the bottom of the screen, and I'll invite you to take yourself off of mute. If you'd like to ask Ian a question or a comment with confidentiality, put your message in the chat function at the bottom of the screen, and I'll read it out. Dennis, take yourself off mute.
I have lots of gratitude, but gratitude towards Ian, who did an introductory course in 2006 down at Suna's house, who I first met there. The my first reading, and I bought the book The Disappearance of the Universe by Gary Renard. And the wonderful Course in Miracles group as it is today, full of compassion, love, and understanding. Thank you. That's me out.
Okay. Linda, would you like to share?
Has Jan got her hand up? I'll come after Jan.
Okay, Jan, please take yourself off mute.
Hello, everyone. Hello, lovely Ian. So good to see you here. And thank you so much for focusing on gratitude today. What a wonderful energy it is. And as you say, this is a magical thing. The more gratitude we have, the more things come into our lives. It's great. I was thinking too about, it's easy for me to sort of be grateful for. I mean, at the moment, the sun is just blasting through my windows here and it's shining on flowers. It's gorgeous, it's magical. But of course, it's much more difficult to be grateful for everything and the difficult things. But I've really learned this last couple of weeks that it's not right, it's possible. I mean, it's what to do, because God is in everything. This last week or so, God, it's been so, I would say it's up there with the worst weeks in my life, if I can judge it. But what I realized has come out of it was so difficult and so frightening, but it forced me into practice and to be working with the Holy Spirit, to be above the battleground. So it was an absolute blessing. And this situation seems better. But the thing is, what has happened, and I'm sure it's about practicing with the Holy Spirit, is my joy has come back. It's bounced back. I sort of dropped it about a year ago, and I was thinking, where's joy? Do you remember? Well, Ian, you would remember that television program, children's one with cabbages, and if kids got a question right, they got a present, and they were holding it. Or anyway, you dropped the cabbages or something, and I felt I dropped joy. I had dropped joy. Anyway, it's come back in the midst of all this seeming weirdness in this illusion of mine, but I'm so grateful for it. I'm so grateful to be here with you all. Thank you. That's me.
That's wonderful to hear, Jan. Yeah, I remember Cracker Jack.
Okay, Linda.
Yes, thank you, Ian. I was with you the whole way of everything you said. I could feel it and know it. And one of the things I love is driving and seeing all the lacy trees in the winter. But what had happened, my gratitude is for everything. Collect a little boy from school from over the road, and I needed some carrots last week for dinner, and he said he'd come with me. He doesn't usually. And we walked round, and I just happened, why, I don't know, went to the chocolate section and put some Freddos in my basket and paid for them. And when we got out, I gave him the Freddos, and his face was alive and light. It was, I had given something, but I had got so much more back in just this gratitude of giving for no reason, no expectation, just giving. And when we got back into the car, he said, just before we got to Sainsbury's, he said, I've run out of chocolate stash in my bedroom. And immediately I said, I picked up on that, didn't I? My mind picked up on your mind, because we are one mind. He's 10. We are one mind.
Mm.
And I thought, this gratitude of, I then realized perhaps I'd been a messenger for a seed to be sown for his future. I was just amazed at this one little thing of putting this Freddo in, gave all this gratitude of love.
Mm.
We don't know where it goes, do we? We just don't know where it goes. So thank you, Ian. It was a wonderful, wonderful morning. Thank you.
Oh, that's great, Linda. So you had gratitude that you gave
Yes.
Carl the gift. He was grateful to you, and you were grateful for the thought that you taught him something about giving.
Yes. And
his dentist was probably grateful to you as well.
but it was the seed,
Yeah.
that has left me. You don't know where these seeds go. And a smile, just a smile for someone in the street. And the gratitude I've got that I can do that without expecting anything.
Mm.
Yes, thank you, Ian. It was
You got so
wonderful.
much from it. So, yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
Well, Ian, I want to come in here and just say I'm grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your introduction today. And I'm so grateful you started Miracle Network and they created the roots that brought us all here today. It's wonderful. And I started doing gratitudes probably 10 years ago. I heard this idea that just do 5 gratitudes a day and watch how it changes your life. And so I did 5 gratitudes with Teresa every day, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And now we probably do 10 minutes each of gratitudes. And it's just rewired my mind. I see so many beautiful things in the day, and it's a very powerful tool. So thank you, Ian.
Yeah, you're welcome. You were on my gratitude list too, Dan, actually.
Great. Who'd like to share? Norman, and then Anthony.
Yes, I would like to offer my gratitude to Ian as well. He may not remember me from 25 odd years ago, but I pestered him a lot. I think I stopped after a while. But thank you very much, Ian, for putting me on this path. It's been tremendous. Tough at times, as we all know, but extreme gratitude to your good self. Thank you.
I do remember you, Norman. I'm not sure if we met in Belfast, but we probably did.
Anthony, would you like to share? Take yourself off mute, Anthony.
Ian, thank you so much for that inspirational, excuse me, for that inspirational talk on the subject of gratitude. You enabled me to expand my heart, and this is a fantastic exercise which I will moving forward, repeat every day, if not more than once a day. But I also just wanted to mention, talking about being of one mind, when you mentioned the exercise and you started talking about 5 things or 10 things, I was prompted to scribble down all the things I'm grateful for. And just when you reached the words, thanks to the Holy Spirit, I was writing those very words down myself. Well, that's not proof that we're all of one mind. I don't know what is. So again, thank you so much. It was marvelous.
Brilliant. Thank you, Anthony.
Okay, we've come to the end of it. Go ahead, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say five things or 10 things in the morning and at night. I think doing it last thing in the day is good idea too.
Okay, thank you, Ian. That was wonderful. And take yourself off of mute and show your appreciation to Ian for a wonderful.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you. That was great.
Ian.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you very much, Ian.